Well, comma, I'm going to see if the closed captioning provided by YouTube is accurate if I articulate the punctuation, period. In this article by the Heritage Foundation, you will notice that all of the language is quite weighted, period. They're really leaning in to one side of the teeter-totter of bias, period. You can see this in the title, period. Just look at the words. No justification for extreme policies, period. What this means is that any policies designed to combat climate change are both unjustified and extreme, comma. Another way of saying there's no reason to do anything about it, period. Or if you like, comma, another way to say that ExxonMobil, who funds the Heritage Foundation, which published this article, is basically getting the go-ahead to keep pumping more and more gas no matter what happens to the atmosphere, period. And if you wanted to look at the people involved in the article, it's kind of a clutch of denialists, especially the lead person, David Kreutzer, period. And these are sophisticated people, period. They're not just dreaming this up in some trailer park, period. These are very well-educated, very sophisticated writers, period. They know how to give the aura of legitimacy to their arguments, period. One way they do that is by using a fairly elevated language, comma, and another way they do that is by using lots of footnotes, period. So your goal in this assignment will be to both sniff out the elevated language and research the footnotes, period. Just look at the first word, hysteria. They've all gone crazy, period. Hysteria over global warming is now pervasive in the federal government, period. That means everyone in the federal government has gone crazy, period. And then they let you know that it's not just the Obama administration, but it's also every department and agency, period. You'd think, my God, comma, what a bunch of lunatics, period. But then you look at the footnote, and that'll be the next slide, period. And from that, we'll see just how deeply deceptive they are, not only in the tone that we see here with hysteria and extreme policies, but also in the footnote, period. Footnotes are there to back up what you're saying, period. They ought to support it, period. Most of their footnotes either have nothing to do with the text, comma, or they're written by people who have no reputation in climatology, period. So it's kind of a two-edged fraud. You have elevated language that's extraordinarily biased, and then you have the look of legitimate research provided by the footnotes, period. It all looks good on the surface, period. And for this next essay, we're going to go under the surface, period.